Okay, well, in real world time, about 30 seconds has passed since the end of the last video. Obviously, this is Tuesday for you guys, um, and hopefully you had a little time to work on that. You'll have a lot of time today to work on it. You'll have all day tomorrow to work on it. Remember that I will also have your advanced mission review level will be posted tomorrow as well. So you have a lot of things that you can work on because we do have school on Friday. That's my expectation. It's not going to be a true free Friday because everybody should have your 9 through 16 review level that you'll have to work on. So make sure that you're getting all of that done. Stay on task. I know it's not going to be necessarily fun. If it is, you're weird. I mean, if it is fun for you, good. I'm glad. But make sure that you're staying busy this week in class. Don't make next week harder on yourselves because you didn't take the time that you needed on this. So Friday, obviously, because you can't do retakes on the mission because I'm not here to reassign them for you. It will be working on your level or completing this level if for some reason you didn't finish it before Thursday. So you've got a lot to do this week. So let's look at this last little part to level 16. We're still doing the same thing, polynomial expressions. It's just going to clarify some things. Right here, and I didn't erase this on my stuff, but this is x times x on your page. Remember that it's x to the first times x to the first. So basically, whenever you multiply these variables, when you multiply those letters together, the same letters, you're going to add your exponents. You just add the exponents. So 1 plus 1 is, I sure hope somebody said 2 there. It would be, oh, there we go, x squared. X squared. Now we go P3 times P5. So we're just going to add these together. 3 plus 5. So that's going to give me P to the 8th power. That's real simple. Now, when you have different letters, you're just going to put the letters in alphabetical order. So hopefully you know your alphabet. If not, go punch your kindergarten teacher in the mouth or something. I don't know. Don't do that. I don't actually do that. You know, all of you know alphabetical order. So these are already in alphabetical order, X, Y, Z, right? So you have X, Y. We're just going to eliminate the little dot between them. That's real simple. Now here I have AC times B. I think that all of you can figure this one out. What's the answer going to be? Right, A, B, C. A, B, C. So I'm just putting them in alphabetical order. Now here, we're getting a little more advanced. It's the same as this, but now I'm looking and I'm seeing I've got 2 A pieces. I have another A piece over here. I have 1 B piece, and I have a C piece over here. So it's going to be A, B, C, and notice I wrote that out so I'd keep them in the correct order, but I left a little space because I know I'm going to have to put some exponents. So I'm going to add my 2 and my 1 together, and so that's going to be A cubed. And then B, there's no B piece over here, so it's going to be B cubed as well. And then there's no C piece over here, so it's going to be C to the 5th power. It's the same concept, A, B, C. So ignore this objective thing. We don't talk about the objectives in that same way. But we're going to multiply the monomial expressions with one term by a polynomial, which is just the distribution thing that we're going to be doing. And then that's all it is. We're just distributing. So it looks fancy, but it's really not. It's the same exact thing over again. So here, my example, I've got 4c squared times 3c minus 5. So I've got 4c squared, and we're just distributing just like we normally do. We just normally distribute. You guys know how to do this. Multiply the coefficients by the coefficients and then add the exponents. So 4c squared times 3c is going to give me 12. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. And then c squared times c, we're just going to add the exponents together, gives me c cubed. And then this, we're just having to multiply the coefficients together. There's no letter pieces in there that I have to mess with, so it's just going to be negative 20, and then I'm just going to keep that, c squared. sorry, it's 20c squared. And that's going to be b. Remember, you want a better teacher to teach you, just go home and watch that QR code. All right, example 2 here, same deal. We've got a 4c squared, but we've got a little bit longer polynomial here, but it's the same exact thing. I'm just doing the same steps over and over and over again. So I've got 4c cubed. Is that cubed or squared? It's a squared. So times 5c. So remember, I'm going to multiply the coefficients together. I'm going to get 16. And then I'm going to add the exponents together. So that's 7. And then I've got 4 times negative 5, which is negative 20. And then I'm going to add, because it's the same letter, I'm going to add the exponents. So I have a squared and a 3. Boy, that's tough to see. But yeah, it's a squared and a 3, so it's going to be 5. It's going to be 5c to the 5th power. And then here, I'm just multiplying the first 2, so it's going to give me negative 8, but I'm going to keep the c squared. So when we look at that, oh, let's see, is it this one? Nope, it's not that one, not that one. Could be this one. Oh, and it is. Remember, when you multiply your exponent pieces, you're just adding the numbers. You're not multiplying them. That's why it's not 10 and 6. It's 7 and 5. Multiply your coefficients, add your exponents. All right, example 3. Again, more complex, but it's the same thing. You just follow all the little rules that you've got and we'll be fine. So we've got 2pq to the 4th times 3p to the 4th times and then plus 7p squared q squared. So again, I'm going to multiply the coefficients together. I'm just doing this and I'm doing that. So I'm multiplying my coefficients together. I'm going to get 6. Multiply your p parts together. I'm going to get p to the 5th because I'm adding a 1p to a 4p. There's no q piece, so I'm just going to write the q in there, q to the 4th. Now for this one, plus 14. 2 times 7 is 14. P times p squared, I'm going to add the exponents. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then I'm going to add the exponents here because they both have a q piece. Q to the adding 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, so I'm looking at it here, and that looks like it's going to be B. Example 4. Oh, I'm going to leave that here so you can see it just a second longer. I know I went pretty quick on that one. All right, I'm going to slide that up just a little bit. You'll still be able to see the answer there. Same deal here. Don't forget your negative. So again, this, just adding another piece in all these. So I got 3 things to multiply together. So negative 3 times 5, negative 15. B times nothing, so I'm just going to write the B. C times 5, C times C to the 5th. Add C to the 6th. And then I'm going to go negative 3 times 5. It's also negative 15. Multiply the B pieces together and get B to the 4th because it's 1 plus 3. C, there's no C piece here, so I'm just going to write the C piece in, and then there's no D piece over here, so I'm just going to bring the D down, D squared, because I'm just multiplying times 1. Last one here, last piece I have to multiply. It's going to give me negative 21, because negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. I just have a B to worry about, so B times B to the 4th gives me B to the, hopefully somebody just said 5th, and then I've just carried my C down. Now, I'm going to look at these. Can I combine these? And to combine them, they have to be exactly the same. So I do not have exactly the same BC, BCD, BC parts. Because even though this is just a BC and this is just a BC, this is B to the fifth and just a B to the one. So I can't combine those together. So this is my final answer. So I just look for which one that is, which looks like it's D over here. All right, last one, and that's it. Hopefully I haven't blown your mind today. And hopefully you've kind of been able to pick up on some of this stuff. So hopefully that I want you to do this one on your own again. Example 5, on your own. Go ahead and multiply all that stuff together. So I'm going to write it out here on the bottom while you guys work on it on your own. Only 2 pieces you have to mess with today on this problem. Make sure you're adding your exponents, not multiplying your exponents. All right, let's look at it. Hopefully you got this one correct. Negative 25, a to the 7th b cubed minus 20, a to the 5th b to the 4th. That's going to be b. Just got to remember your things. You're adding your exponents. You're putting them in alphabetical order. You're combining any like terms if you can. But if you can't, then just leave it like that. And that's what you've got. Hopefully your mind isn't so full of stuff that you can't work this. I have complete faith in you guys to be able to complete all this stuff. I know it's a lot of work, but that's life. Life is a lot of work. Might as well do it whenever it's real simple. Because like I say all the time, life doesn't ever get any simpler than it already is. It just might be easier if you know how to do it. So get to work on all that. You've got, again, today and tomorrow to really work on this level. Tomorrow, your level 16, 9 through 16 review will be there. Tomorrow, your mission will be live with no code, but also no retakes this week because you have your 9 through 16 review level there. That's what I expect for you to be working on tomorrow if you haven't finished this level. Finish this level first, then start working on the next one because you'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to work on it because we'll start doing the end of 9 weeks missions on Thursday and on Friday. So you technically, I'm not going to pick this up for a grade until the end of the week, the level that is. I'm not picking up the 9 through 16 weeks level until the end of the week. And we'll talk a little bit more about that whenever I get back next week. But that way you guys have plenty to work on, so you're not being an issue for whoever's subbing for me. They have a lot to work on, basically, is what, if you're done, then hopefully I'm saying good job because you really understand it. Hopefully it's not because you went and Googled the answers. Please don't do that. That doesn't help you out at all, especially if you're one of the ones that need to do the level. Because like I said, this is 8 weeks worth of review that you're having to do. It's some stuff we haven't really done a whole lot of in several weeks. But I did have a student last week redo a level like 9. A mission 9, because they had a grade that was kind of pulling their overall down. So she wanted to redo it, and she said, this is so much more simple now that we've gone through all these levels, because again, we just keep building and building. But it won't hurt you to do all the review and look at it again. So hopefully you have a great week. I will again see you next week, and do your very best in everything that you do. All right. Love you guys.